Good day, YouTube. Today is Thursday. It's October the 19th, 2017. I just backed the trailer in. I've been on a little adventure, about a 100-mile round trip to pick up another project. This project may be too much of a project. Let's show you what we got. Let me block the door open here. Sorry I made you go sideways, but had to do it. This is a 1983 Honda Goldwing Aspencade. Yeah, Aspencade edition. Gave you two-tone paint, a digital dash. Came with an AM/FM radio, an intercom, a CB radio, and a cassette deck, which would have been right there. Cassette deck is gone. Had a voltmeter in the center. It's the radio display on the left and more display on the right. And then aftermarket companies made all the chrome doodads and so forth. This has 129,000 miles on it. It has been sitting for a long time. I saw it on Craigslist. I used to be very much into Goldwings. I was an officer in Goldwing Road Riders Association for 22 years. Although I've never owned an 1100, I have owned many GL1000s. Bought a GL1200 brand new, an 86 model brand new in 1989. Yes, it was still new in the crate. And then bought a 1989 GL1500 with a couple thousand miles on it. About 2 years later, or late 90, early 91, something like that. And then rode that bike for a very long time. And then it got, I changed that out to a Valkyrie Interstate. So that's the history briefly with me and Goldwing stuff. This one popped up and they wanted $400 for it. And I thought, if I can get it running, it might make a put-around bike. Obviously, it's going to have a lot of issues. Been sitting around a long time, but maybe there's something here. It probably looks better on film than it does up close. A lot of rust on the chrome and so forth. At one time, as you can tell, I'm sure it was a very beautiful bike with all the real nice pinstriping and stuff, but the paint's starting to go, clear coat's starting to come off. Probably clean it up a little bit, but it will never be right without repainting and so forth. I don't know. These things don't have a lot of value. I really think this thing is worth more in parts than anything. The guy didn't know anything about it. He got it for cheap. I did get a title, so forth. So I need to evaluate this thing a little bit more. Interesting murals on the side. It was obviously somebody's baby at some time, but it's sure seen better days. Now I have that side cover. So I thought what I would do is just give it a quick evaluation. I know that there's engine problems. This thing wasn't parked for no reason. I took my jumper pack to the person's house that had this thing, hooked it up, because he said he never turned it over. I said, well, I need to turn it over. So we hooked up the jumper pack, we turned it over, and he had the spark plugs out. He said he put some mystery oil down the cylinders. Not sure what he was thinking there. He didn't explain to me there was any issues there. He thought it had mostly wiring problems. Well, when we turned it over, it shot antifreeze out of the right spark plug holes all over the guy's truck. So it probably has head gasket issues or worse. Let me set you down just for a second. Look at the seat, how close you can get to the seat as I hook up the jumper pack. There we go. So at that point I realized this is not a restoration project. It's probably parts, because you'll have more in this thing than it's worth quickly if you're not careful. But I do kind of like projects, so I'm not completely decided what to do. It's raining outside. If I shoot antifreeze out of there, had not to go on anything that would get hurt, right? So I'm going to turn the jumper pack on. Let's see what works and what doesn't work. I know the dash lit up, and that's good. Because if I sell this thing for parts, the dash is the money. It's in good shape. We were trying to make the radio work. Didn't really see it happening. But something's working. I think that's the... Is that the CV channel on the side? Because it has hand controls. They're fairly sticky. What are we doing over here? Anything? Look at that. I'm making the radio work. Or I'm making the channel work. Might have to read these a little bit, see what the heck's going on here. Let's try and get a radio channel as I get... Well, they're hard to stop. Oh, that's mute. What are we doing here? Only goes one way, I guess. Just up. Well, that's a radio station. I don't know how all of this works exactly. I know there's a way to go from headphones to speakers. Stereo. I kind of think the tuner's working. We can get the speaker to the speakers, not headphones. So the top part's the intercom. I know that. This side is the CB radio part. You want to look at my finger, do you? Speaker on off. Speaker. Okay, well, we're on speaker. Yeah. So there's this mute. What's that do? Come on. Fire in a hole. I don't know. I think it kind of works. I think it will work. Ooh, I got a local station there. I know they're putting something out on it. And that thing says I'm on speaker. I don't know. Maybe they're just disconnected. I'll have to dig into that. Okay, what else we got? Headlight's not on, but it should be. So, high beam. High beam, high beam, high beam. Has it been that long, Glenn? So, we're not seeing a headlight. Horn. Probably works, but not on the jumper pack. Or they've been wet. Oh, I think it's going to work. What do we got up here? So that changes some of the display. Suspension, the air pump, and the suspension should work. Air pressure decrease. So these have built-in air compressor for the shocks, front and rear, and they're adjustable. This is the rear plug, going to the rear plug for the headset. This even has a Markland cruise control, set, resume. Looks like there's a button missing. Choke is here. Do we have any taillights on the thing? We have a tail light. Let's try turn signals. Left turn. Well, I think we got turn signals. We do. We got turn signals. See if we got right turn signals. Well, it flashed for a moment. What's the problem? Got one flash. Probably got a bad bulb. What else we got? Let's look around here for a minute. All these light bars and stuff probably running on these things. How many of that stuff works? Well, it lights up pretty good, doesn't it? But all the lenses are faded. There's not a lot of red left in them. But most of them do light up. That was the deal back in the day, boy. Light up the night with your bike. Brings back a lot of memories. Oh, it's even got fork lights. They actually look pretty decent. I wonder if they'd put a switch or something on the headlight, because the headlight should be on. Okay, I'm going to back out of the way. I almost hit the starter button, standing right in front of the cylinders. Good job. Got brand new jeans on. That would have made a mess. Okay, let's shut all these off. We're rambling, I know, but what do you got to do here? You already did the headlights. Clutch feels okay. I don't know if I could see a brake light if I tried. Yeah, I actually think it's working. Actually, the front brake handle doesn't feel too bad. Okay, let's set the spark plugs out of the way because I know they're just sitting there. Where can I stick these? What I was thinking, holy crap, look at this shit down there. How come the guy took the plugs out and didn't even clean it out? I don't even want to turn it over. God, you just... Some people shouldn't have machines. Sorry, the guy that sold this to me that looked at that video. But oh my goodness, there's a bunch of crap down there. Okay, can't do anything with it because I got to vacuum the crap out of the cylinders first. Oh boy. So now you see the dilemma. So we'll give you the rest of the story and then we'll end this thing. You wanted $400 for it. There's no way this bike's worth $400. However, some of those parts, I bet you can get $500 just for the dash and a few $100 for the radio. We're looking for money in all the pockets. But I said, nope, it's not for me. This isn't something I can bring home and just restore in a couple weekends or something. So I'll pass. He said, okay, well, then he thought for a minute, and I could just see how anxious he was. And he says, would you give me anything for it? I said, I'll give you $50. And he said, sold. So $50, and it's like I got a free quart of Torco T4 oil, and that probably cost somebody about $6 or $7. So I got a quart of oil for it. So now it costs me $44. Anything else in there? Nope. Let's look in the trunk. So I'm in this thing $50. I guarantee I can get my money out of it. It's like I got a crack in the trunk. They all did it. What can I say? They all did it. So there's one lower, the fairing lowers are gone, but there's one of them. I don't know if they're both there or not. No, dang it, just one of them. But that's probably not an impossible thing to get. These are the plug wire covers, and they go here, like that. I don't think they actually fit that carburetor cover set. Some of this stuff, the real popular stuff, they actually still reproduce. Some wind wings. What are these? That I don't recognize. What else we got? Some crappy tools. Yep, crappy tools. Got some parts. What do you buy? Spark plugs, a coil. Oh, and he replaced coils. So he spent $300 on it. Oh, cool. What's under here? A mirror? Anything good? Yeah, a mirror. Well, put all this back. Okay, I'm sorry for rambling, but you know, I just thought we'd look at this thing together. Maybe we'd find some surprises. And I was going to crank it over and see what all shot out, but I got to vacuum the cylinders out. They're just full of, this bike obviously is sat outside and they're just full of pine needles and stuff, and that's not cool. So I need to get this out of my trailer, but it was really hard to push, and I need this trailer tomorrow. So I might have to make a phone call a buddy, get some air in here and air the tires up so it rolls better. The back brake was dragging. The head bearings are really stiff, like the grease went solid on it. Okay, 1983 Honda Goldwing Aspencade. We are in the evaluation mode. I'm going to unload it and get it in the barn. Let it sit there for a couple of days. Let me think about it for a little while. Might drain the antifreeze out of it and see if it runs. So get the antifreeze out so it doesn't leak in. See what I can get to work. If there's enough, if it'll run, and there's enough stuff that works. I'm saying this to the motorcycle too, because motorcycles have feelings here. If you'll run, it might be worth putting head gaskets in it. We'll see. Alright, sorry for rambling, but gotta do what you gotta do. So thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And if anybody wants this thing for parts, let me know quickly. Later, bye.